Hello there, hello Coach GB here. So I want to make an intro about just explaining like how misleading some of these guides that can appear in front of your screen, like rank 1 Jax, 2K LP dives into master Renekton player, right? So it's supposed to be a Renekton matchup guide sort of thing, right? The spotlight of how the matchup should actually go. And so the issue is a lot of these things seems to be fake Chinese, and I'm not even kidding, because it gives you a false sensation of the matchup, because more than often I watch these videos, 2K LP, rank 1, whatever, and it just the opponents play very badly, and they just give you the false sensation of the matchup. Sometimes they do get ganks, which again you won't always get ganks, so you gotta know how to play the matchup without ganks, right? So it won't be too quickly you favor the matchup. But also notably, it's just like I think it's just like a very bad, like these type of very bad players that they are facing. They are content players, that's how I would call them, because basically they are meant to be content farmed, but they don't actually play correctly at their best. So they're very bad samples of players, but you guys gonna see it. It's so bullshit, but you guys gonna see it very soon, okay? Basically we all need sometimes guidance, and probably as Jax you maybe don't know specifically the Renekton matchup, of course, and you're gonna see a bunch of matchup guides. For example, in here rank 1 Jax, 2K LP just stomps this Renekton, right? Now he does start D-Blade, of course, and he doesn't have Grasp, he does actually go Lethal Tempo, and he does actually have Scaling Magical Footwear. Now, these videos are actually kind of weird. A lot of these like Chinese videos, or Korean ones perhaps, even so. Like in here, Renekton dashes out, he doesn't basic attacks the Jax, and he's through him, does he hit, is he? 35 damage, maybe it could be that low. But basically there was no auto weaved in, which is totally fine, but he could ban weave in an auto. And the issue is in here, like I don't say this is staged, but I think this is a bad sample. Renekton doesn't have his E for 16 seconds. Jax has E up, right? And he walks into Jax's E. There is no spacing, there's nothing. Literally, look. He's walking into Jax's E. What's gonna happen? Jax presses E, he counter strikes, right? The minions basic attack him, he gets full counter strike value. He cannot basic attack him after he gets stunned, so Jax gets even more free trade. And it's he won't turn back. In there, maybe he could then slightly walk out of it, just possibly, there is a teensy bit of chance, but even so turn back into it. Like in here, maybe if he didn't turn back, just maybe by the time Jax recasts his E, see, maybe he wouldn't get caught, just a small possibility, right? And he continues fighting into a Lethal Tempo Jax. And I'm just staring because like Renekton's passive does not do much till 50 Fury. Jax gains attack speed from his passive, from Lethal Tempo. And he has all in D-Blade, he has E-Shield, right? And the Renekton just takes the all in. Like I feel like these are not realistic scenarios. Because like in here, like the Renekton, it's a master and Renekton's supposed to be okay. But it's like in any type of games, like if Renekton just, they tend to be one tricks in my opinion, and you don't have to have insane game knowledge, but it's a very basic thing to understand that generally speaking, I've seen quite a lot of players actually on Jax going Grasp, just to like survive and scale more smoothly. Even so, Bifo himself says that it's more so Renekton favored, but of course you're gonna get hard outscaled later on by Jax, so that should be a concern. So one of the things you should go for is definitely try to play a game of guessing and try to W him, right, as Renekton, the Jax. But these game samples are a bit bad. Now in here, Jax just jump in, Renekton presses Q, he gets out with his E, right? Now in here he does get to push the wave, which is nice for him, but the wave gets stuck with that all in, and hopefully he can actually do something about it. But the wave doesn't look too nice. Soon he'll be able to just get out of its grasp, and even in here the same issue starts. Renekton's E was on cooldown 16 seconds, Jax's E and Q has less cooldown, so he has more window to all in. But I feel like in here he stepped up for nothing, because like his basic attack I think likely got E parried, his Q dealt like borderline no damage because it wasn't an empowered Q, then he just walked into a level 3 Jax all in again. Because like a lot of these videos are supposed to be informative, but I swear, like more than often when I see this type of like rank 1 titles, often the enemy laner just doesn't know how to lane. I'm genuine. I'm genuine, you know, when I say this. I'm literally genuine. And so in here he got a nice dive off because of the multiple trades he got off, so this could be legit really easily. But the thing is, in here, I don't know if Renekton had E up. Because if he was slightly smarter, he could ban E, right? Even so, he would get like level 3 of that cannon, I suppose. So he could back off with Inhibit and soak XP. But it's I feel like this dive is questionable because he had flash arguably, and I feel like he may gonna get off that cannon level 3 really easily, or he could flash there. So I feel like it's some of these are just like teaching you how to coin flip, because like proper info we don't have on Elise either. But I'm like whatever, okay, maybe he's not around, you know. But um, I feel like even so, like if just he backed off the Renekton, he didn't even like go into a game of guessing if when's gonna like Jax jump in, you know, and try to flash away or something. But it's just really all about that, you know. Now in there he didn't have a bad all-in because even so he had a big mini on the wave. It was fine because the jungler is hovering around, he has double buffs, he's very ahead. So that shouldn't be a bad thing, as if now, right? And so in here the wave is pushing towards him. Now he can freeze, which is great because he's gonna regen up anyways, or push and get a plate. Generally speaking, like on Jax, you can really easily get 2 plates with Sheen when your opponent is dead without TP. So either way, it's a good choice, but freezing is a bit more consistent. Then in here, really clean. I think that was really good. WQ. That's a mechanic you got to practice tool. Insta WQ out. That's something you really got to practice tool, in my opinion, to some extent, because that's a very quick way of clicking. It does ult. It does E. Now that was a weird flash. So he flashes just to get stunned later. Weird champ. I just look back to this play at Inzipid though. So he does get a W trade on the guy, right? He could ban, so he didn't kill the whole wave, it's fine. And in here he Jax wants to like go for a heavy collapse. So it does E away, but he kinda like flashes in a weird way, this Renekton. He didn't click correctly with his flash. Cause like he kinda like flashed in his Z anyways. I feel like this is just so weird. And he wouldn't lose that much HP if he flashed correctly. And even so, it would be harder to dive right now, but he just basically presses a W on the guy because he ate too much shit. I feel like he just ate too much shit. And then now the dive was free, but maybe if the whole like, you know, it wouldn't be just a W to kill the Renekton, because he didn't eat like so much shit, because basically he flashed correctly earlier on. I feel like this wouldn't work out either, and I'm not even I don't even want to sound like someone that's like really negative. I just feel like low-key these dive angles are a bit misleading, because they also kind of rely on like your opponent being like very bad. Like in here, look, like if he flashes correctly, in here he still has 469 HP with the Renekton. If he flashes correctly and not inside of his E, basically doesn't get caught, right? Because Jax didn't have flash, right? Jax didn't have flash actually to follow up or some. So in there, if he had 469 HP, this doesn't happen. And then soon he hits 6, and I feel like these are just like giving bad like. It just gives like bad images in people's head of how a matchup should go. But I've seen multiple of these type of things. I've seen so many of these type of things. You guys wouldn't believe me. And no hate on Chinese people, but often it's the Chinese videos where someone's supposed to be an X high rank, and it could be true. But I feel like the opponents are often just like content opponents that are, I don't know, bro, like it's just like content opponents basically. It just feels like it's a storm because like the opponent is just bad. Like I don't say he didn't have good moves, like he definitely had some, but like Jax is, I think Jax is like not too bad into Renekton, but is my opinion, like I think it's not that unfavorable to Intisar, you know. Because I feel like the Renekton was like speedrunning it. Because like often as I've seen, like my problem is that they are not like either they're not experienced enough, they're maybe out of field or whatnot, but that's my problem, that they're not like, they don't feel to be real opponents. Then he gets the plates, you know, he gets he does actually get the minions in, and and as a matter of fact, in here Renekton again gets collapsed on, and what I don't like either, when you get ganked. Like it's fine if your champion does like purely rely on getting ganked by your own jungle, but I think it kind of sucks as a sample that you get ganked by your own jungle, because that again messes with people's like mind on how the matchup should go. So for example, if you get one or two ganks, then the matchup will be different and it will be more so your favor if you do get those type of level and item leads, right? And I think like ganks are also like something preferably shouldn't be there, but he was already ahead, I do suppose, so it's not a big concern in my opinion that you know, basically you go for these. So it does dive in for not much. He just gets out. Oh yeah, team fights are not yet for him. So side laning is so ideal because he's very strong. Renekton can barely match him, but they are very fat, so it's, yeah, I mean, it's very hard. It's very, very hard to team fight. Easy it isn't. Easy it isn't. So the next step is just to TP behind them, hopefully collapse on the enemy team. This is a bit weird, but we'll see how this ends up. He has a stopwatch, he does go Zanye, which is definitely great. He jumps in on the Soraka. Picks him up, and I think FaZe wants to outplay, but he could then also eat towards the Blastcon. But I guess it's whatever. Then they didn't have to burn his flash, but W doesn't connect because he jumps to the wall. Gets, oof, maybe stopwatch. Friendly well played on his part. W, oof, that's a big oof. Okay, well played on his part. He challenges the Renekton. He gets 2 divine procs off, so oh, that Renekton is useless behind, Ooh, okay. That Renekton is not doing too well. He really knew indeed his limits there. I think Jax, like, it's such a toxic item, having Zanye like as a third item, because he just sucks. Like Jax all in, Zanye's very shortly he comes up, and he again has counter strike, so basically for a long period of time you can't really basic attack him, you know, like it's just so annoying. It's a bit underrated as well. Like Jax, lots of Jax players go some random bullshit item like Sterak's, or you know, Sterak's is not awful, but people tend to go for like anything else but not Zanye. In games where like Zanye is high value, like even into Tryndamere, like it's so nice to have it as Jax, or you know whatnot. That there are definitely like scenarios where you can really easily go for it, and I don't think that's something people tend to really underrate on Jax. I know it's inactivatable, but it still provides you good stats that Jax can utilize. Mainly you get it of course for the activatable, but you gotta remember its armor stats are decent. It provides decent damage because Jax scales with AP. Pretty much everything except his Q scales with AP. But also notably the cooldown again is great. So everything on Zanye is great. Yeah, everything, you know, that's the thing about it. And maybe arguably this game could I think you could then go maybe a more, no? Because they're so heavy on AP. They have like 2 AD champs, but you can parry them, no? Or I'm not even sure what to tell you guys, to be honest. He did get actually good mark threads though, so that's great. He does actually love to teamfight a lot. He doesn't really side lanes, but I don't suppose side laning would be bad at all. I'm not sure why does he exactly, like his escapes are not bad either if they collapse. Not sure why does exactly he do this style where he does actually just like perma team fight. But again, like if he's skilled enough, he can definitely play team fights out, which can be again totally fine. But I would aim to like side lane now and then. Let's see what else happens in here. So he does all in the Soraka. Oh, but Vayne needs him into the wall. It doesn't really matter too much because he has tenacity. He does get out. Now he does jump out, but the Vayne damage is nasty actually. So he does actually want to get an assist. He does counters. Ooh, that was close actually. Okay. That was close. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I think he wants to collapse on. Nope. We're gonna use his E against. Oh. What was the Fizar? Guess a bit of a misclick. He does get out. Oh. Wait, it started to low-key tire me. Around the end. I think soon we are at the end, so I don't really want to skip too much on anything. I just want to watch it till the end to see what exactly happens. If does flash, it does ult. With all of my might. That's what Jack says, I think. The bravest champ I ever met was just a kid. That's like a really cool quote referring to someone that actually died and he was actually a Jax player, but not that Jax is getting a meme. That quote is just like sort of a meme for people. That's not even funny anymore, and it really puts a bad image on Jax players. Right? It's not really good to like put a bad image on like a certain group of people that play a certain champion. Now one cool trick you can use on Jax is if you recast your E, that also gives a Sheen proc. It's one of those rare champs that has an ability that gives actually 2 Sheen procs. It's really like a Sheen user indeed. I seen actually not a long time ago on ranked against me I played a good Camille, I think, and basically also Jax with Gordrinker Muramana, like the whole champ is just like so oriented towards like Trinity Divine ideally. And I was just like wondering why is that Muramana Gordrinker build? Is that a YouTuber build? Is that a YouTuber moment? Is that a, is that a YouTuber clickbait? I think we just end slowly the game. If I'm right, they're dead and the game gets slowly ended. Yep, so that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day.